Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm heading over to a bike garage over in Poole in Dorset to take a look at a potential new bike. I'm going to Poole Moto. They're a Royal Enfield dealer. Luckily they're not too far away from me. I've really wanted to take a proper look at the Royal Enfield for quite a while now, to be honest. Last year I did an off-road experience day in Dorset and the company used the Himalayan. It was a really good confidence boosting bike whilst off-road, but I wasn't really able to properly sort of appreciate it, mainly because I was concentrating so hard. Those were the early days of off-roading. So with the new 452 Himalayan coming out, which I'm not a fan of in terms of aesthetics, I've been strongly considering getting a 411. There's a deal on over at Poole Moto currently, so I wanted to head over, take a look at the bike and give it a test ride before deciding on what to do next. So let's head on over and see what's what. First thing I've noticed about the bike is that the ride height is really low. I almost kicked the floor, put my foot down a bit too hard because I thought I had a lot further to go, but I think it just adds to the confidence inspiring nature of the bike, to be honest. But let's see how we get on. So first little opportunity of standing up, and I've noticed that it's almost got like wide hips right in between your legs, just at sort of where your top of your boots are going to be. So I think that would probably take a little bit of getting used to, but the standing up position does feel good, feels stable, feels comfortable, manageable. So yeah, I think from my memory of riding this off-road, that was a real positive feature. Again, just that confidence inspiring nature of the bike makes it feel a comfortable place to stand up and to be. In terms of specs of the bike, the weight is listed on the spec sheet as 199 kilograms with a seat height of 800mm and a ground clearance of 220mm. It's a 411cc single cylinder 4-stroke engine, which is air cooled, and the front suspension has 200mm of travel, with the rear suspension having a 180mm travel. So we've taken the Royal Enfield Himalayan out for a test ride today. So far we've only really been on sort of back B roads, wet soggy back B roads, and I think that's really where this bike is going to excel. Slower sort of back, more enjoyable roads for bikers really. It's certainly an adventure machine. You whack some panniers on it, and I think you're going to be good to go to get some miles under your belt. I think the only thing you have to be aware of is that you're not really going to be covering those miles at any great pace, but I think certainly what I've noticed, I've done a lot more looking around whilst I've been riding this bike, mainly because I've been going at slower speeds. It's allowed me to kind of take note of my surroundings and enjoy what I've been riding through, to be honest. I think on my big bike I've so concentrating on the next corner and what's going on, it's kind of a little bit difficult to do that sometimes. So certainly if you're all about the touring and taking in your surroundings and stuff, I think this is an ideal machine really. One thing I did notice coming up to junctions, as you can see, the clearance is not the highest in the world. I think it's good enough for what the bike is, but put your foot down, you go to put your foot down, and you suddenly hit the floor and your leg's still bent, which was a bit of a surprise. Sound of the bike, the engine, the exhaust, yeah, it sounds great. It sounds like a little rugged adventure bike. One thing I did notice riding along, given the weather and the time of year, and I think it's a known problem, but the instrument cluster steams up a bit, which is what it is. Doesn't affect the operation of the bike, but yeah, it happens. But yeah, it's a really comfy seat, really spongy. I think you could quite happily sit on the bike for some miles and not get a numb bottom. Tyres, stock tyres, feel pretty good. Obviously I think they'd probably be fine in the summer sort of green lane off-road conditions if you were to take them off-road. But I think for this time of year you're going to be slipping and sliding all around. The bike's weight feels very low down. It doesn't feel top heavy at all, which I think if you're going to take it off-road it's going to be fairly confidence inspiring. Probably when you come to have to pick it up if you drop it, or when you drop it rather, it's going to be fairly easy to pick up. It's got some really handy handrails at the back here to give it a good old lift up. But yeah, it's certainly impressive machine at the minute. I think we'll go continue on some of the B roads and then maybe try and get a bit of a top end test and see how it feels at a bit of speed. The screen certainly does a good job of keeping the majority of the wind off of your top half and off of your head at 60 mile an hour, which I've been sat at so far. So yeah, I think for me it's a thumbs up for the time being, but we'll continue and see how we get on. So we're travelling at about 60 mile an hour now, and that screen really is doing a great job. It's particularly comfortable going at a slightly higher speed. You can imagine on a particularly windy day it might blow around a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely more than adequate, more than comfortable. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it so far. In terms of colour choices for the bike, The options currently showing on the Royal Enfield website are Dune Brown, Glacier Blue, Gravel Grey, Pine Green, Granite Black and Sleek Black. So the bike sitting at 70 mile an hour is absolutely fine. The windshield does its job. I think on a particularly blowy and blustery day you might be knocked around a little bit more, but I could quite happily sit on this bike all day going at these speeds. The price showing on the Poole Moto website is currently £850 off a new Himalayan, with a single colour being £4,099 plus on the road and a dual colour being £4,199 on the road. Overall, really impressed with this bike. I'm going to have a serious consideration about what we do next. But if you've not been on one, I strongly recommend going and having a look at one and trying one out.